What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you're keto, I'm John. I'm going to talk to you today about my transformation. But first, if you haven't already hit that subscribe, click the subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified when I do future videos, because I know you're going to love the content of this channel, guys. I'm going to talk to you in just a minute. What's up, you guys? Man, I feel fantastic. I'm telling you, it's so beautiful outside, the sunshine. I just got a good workout in. I'm just feeling pretty amazing today. All right, so I wanted to talk to you guys about my transformation because I did a video on my transformation. It was actually the very first video I'd ever put out, and to say the least, it was a little embarrassing. All right. Hey, what's happening, everybody? I'm John with If You're Keto. And I've recently decided to start doing some vlogging. You guys a little bit about myself. I'm 31 years old, and I've lost over 150 pounds in my life. I was super shy, very timid, kind of stumbling, I wasn't being myself. I had just discovered I hadn't just discovered, but I just finally made the step in putting out a YouTube channel and, wanting to share my story. And it was just really awkward. But now I just feel so much better. I'm way more comfortable with the aspect of vlogging and just, talking to you guys, and everything's just a lot more natural. So I thought it might be cool to get like a part 2 to that transformation video. Excuse me, guys, my puppy is going nuts. She's wanting to play, but she's going to be probably running back and forth trying to get me to throw her ball. Anyway, so I just want to start by telling you exactly what happened to me. All right, I think I was about 24 years old at the time, and I had gotten up to about 350 pounds. I was heavy, guys. I was really unhealthy, and I remember making excuses. Every year would go by, and I would tell myself that I was the same size. I hadn't gotten any bigger since high school, because the thing is, a lot of us, we keep on eating, and we create these bad eating habits, and we don't realize that over the years we put on weight and consistently put that weight on. After every single year, it gets away from you, and you stop to realize, oh my God, I've gained all this weight. And I was in denial. I was an extreme case of denial. I would literally try to tell myself that the clothing companies were making their clothes smaller so that they could upsell us for bigger sizes. I mean, I had really convinced myself of that. And I'll just tell people I'm not bigger than I used to be. I'm just a big guy making excuses. But the thing is, guys, I was eating from the time I woke up to the time I went to sleep. And it was not just eating this and that. It was eating buffets, eating Chinese food and pizza and cake and ice cream and all of these things. I remember there was times where I would almost consciously realize I have a problem, because I would literally eat a whole pizza and then feel as if I would go into the cupboard, get a bowl, and pour me a bowl of cereal, because now I had to have something sweet. It was always like that. After a meal, I would always have to have something else. And I mean, I was from a young age developing these super bad eating habits, and I'll just go all the way into it, guys. I didn't have the greatest childhood. I don't want to get super personal because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but it was just a tough situation that I was left in. My father was a really bad guy, and he wasn't that great of a guy. He was an alcoholic. He didn't treat us very well. And I think that I just took to food like a lot of you guys do. It was what comforted me, and it was just good. And also, it's a big part of the Mexican culture to feed your children, to feed the people you love. So it was literally like you forced the food on them to show the affection. That's kind of how they express love, is through food, and that's kind of the culture like that. So it was like okay for us as children to have seconds, thirds, and fourths sometimes of food. And so that's just what kind of helped create an unhealthy eating habit, and I just kept it over time, and it just kept going on and on. And I remember, guys, I was like the kid that was working to save his money up so he could buy food. And I'm not exaggerating, guys. I legit remember buying like a used mini fridge and a toaster oven and a George Foreman grill, and I had it in my bedroom. as a teenager, because I wanted to have like my own place, and I would cook my food in there, and I would order Domino's, and I would pizza, like large pizzas and wings and cinnamon sticks, and I would eat all this food by myself. I might offer a little bit to my sister. She'd ask, who had just reminded me the other day I told her you could have a wing but not a drum. I mean, I was just in a bad way, like the food was like my drug. It was my addiction, guys. Food is definitely addicting if you have those bad eating habits, if you develop an eating disorder, which I definitely had, and me and my sister both struggle with it, and we've both overcome it, and that's why our story is pretty powerful, and I just want that to resonate with everybody. I want to share my story the best I can, because I know that there's other people out there like that who are still in those ways, and they think that they can't beat it. And you guys, you can beat it. I beat it. I'm in the best shape of my life, and I wasn't always that way. I was really unhealthy. I was super heavy. I had to be made fun of. I had experiences in my life where I'd get on a plane and I could not buckle that seatbelt. They had to come over and literally like squeeze my fat to help me buckle it. And I've been on rides where I had to get off because it wouldn't shut on me. I've lived that experience, guys. I understand what you're going through, but this is why I want my story to get out there, because I want to help people. I want people to know that there is another way. And to be honest, like, we have so many resources now to help people, and I hope to one day seriously grow my brand and my business and to help these people get healthy, because I want to take people who are unhealthy and get them healthy, give them the tools that I didn't have no tools. I will tell you the moment for me when I had an epiphany, because that's what it's going to take. You guys are going to have that aha moment. And I had a moment of clarity. It was a couple of different instances in like the same week, and I'm sorry if I'm a little bit all over the place. I'm just really passionate, and I just want to share this accurately. So I remember that I went to go see my aunt. Love her to death. She's awesome. Right there. And my uncle, who was always, at that time, for a very long time, we never really got along. He never really liked me. He had never really had anything good to say about me. But it was kind of like a big pink elephant in the room or whatever. Every time he would come home, it was just kind of like a matter of time of me having to leave because he just didn't like me so much. And maybe that wasn't all just him. I mean, I wasn't exactly the most model kid back then either, but he came and he said to me, I was in his kitchen visiting with his family and my cousins and my aunt, and he told me, he said, "You're fat." And he said, and it really hurt, guys. I can remember almost like just holding back the tears because he really hurt me. He said, "You're fat and you're gonna die." And that really hit me. And I kind of had to accept that. I kind of had to, he was being, but he was right. And I was gonna die. If I had kept on that same path, I don't know if I'd have been here now, guys, because literally I was eating so badly and I'd gotten so heavy that since the last time he saw me, he felt like, what are you doing with yourself? How does your mom gonna feel if she has to bury you? And I just couldn't believe that he was saying these things to me, but at the same time, he was right, guys. So as bad as it hurt me to hear, I took that home with me. And I remember a couple of days later, I was going to put on a t-shirt. No, it was a button-up. And this button-up had fit me months before. Sorry, I'm getting a little emotional because it was hard to accept that I had let myself go so badly. In a couple of months, literally, I couldn't fit that shirt no more. And I buttoned it, and it was so tight, the buttons wouldn't even button. And I said, holy crap, well, what's going on? What happened? There's no more excuses. There's no more denial. It's no more, this is a fact. This is in front of your face. You fit this shirt a couple months ago, and now you don't. You have to look at that in the face. And that was the moment, guys. From that day forward, I was like, it's time to do something. Because I'm telling you right now, there's always going to be a tomorrow if you keep on saying tomorrow. And I guess I don't mean to say it that way, because there's not always going to be a tomorrow. But we always say, oh, tomorrow I'll do it. I'll start dieting this time. And I'm telling you, it's right after a binge eat that we say that, because we feel so disgusted with ourselves. We feel so terrible that we're like, okay, Now that I'm so sick and satisfied, I can say I'm gonna quit. But then guess what? You get hungry again. And tomorrow never comes. So I had to take action. I just could not accept that I was going to go down this path for the rest of my life and keep getting fatter and fatter until I couldn't walk or I couldn't be mobile when I love to be out and active and do things. So literally, guys, the next day, or that moment, when I received that aha moment of, holy crap, this shirt doesn't fit me anymore. It's time to do something about it. I started dieting. And I was just dieting. I started just cutting calories. I really didn't know exactly what I was doing. I just knew that I needed to eat less, and I needed to make sure I was being conscious about, just not eating all the time. So the next day, it just started with the next day of, okay, we're not going to go to a buffet today. I'm going to eat this. And I had like a couple pieces of pizza left over. Okay, I'll eat that. That's not that bad. It wasn't a whole pizza. And so it was just kind of scaling it back. And then it was like, okay, I'm all out of this junk. Let's try Subway. And I remember eating Subway all the time because it was like a foot long. You could eat a whole foot long for like 700 calories or less, if you just got the turkey sub. And so I was doing that for a while, with like fruit salad and sandwiches. And I started to get more familiar with places that I could go and get things that were low calorie. I had no idea about keto at this time. So I'd eat like chili from Wendy's and like, a grilled chicken sandwich, or, I just would make sure it was super low carb salads, just the amount of food that I was eating before, it was such a dramatic change that the weight just started to melt off. So I literally lost about 80 pounds by just dieting, doing nothing else. I didn't work out at all. I just scaled back the food. And the more I got to understand about calories, the more I could kind of avoid high calorie dense foods. And, I was losing weight. I might not have been losing all fat, but when you have that much fat to lose, I'm telling you what, you're losing some fat and you're losing weight. So it's a way different ball game now when I try to lose weight than it was then. But anyhow, I hit a plateau. I couldn't lose any more weight any longer without doing something different. So I started to work out. And that's when I discovered that I kind of had a passion for fitness. So I hired me a personal trainer because I didn't know where to start, like a lot of us guys. But I'm telling you now, doing something is better than doing nothing. No matter what, when it comes to exercise or diet, you have to start somewhere. And that can be scary. Just making an initial start in your life can be scary. Making an initial change. So I just made sure, I hired a trainer. He had got me going, and it was just all kind of like body weight and stuff. And then I worked with him for several months. He helped me to lose another like 30 pounds. So I'm down at this point. I'm down like 110 pounds, guys. And I was motivated. The weight was coming off. Everything was going good, And I was just losing. And so I got down to like 110, 120 pound loss. And so I stopped. I hit a period where I stopped going to the gym, and all it takes is a little bit of time, guys. You got to be consistent. If you're not consistent, it's so easy to fall off. And so I remember I was working just around the clock, and I was starting to eat, but because I was like working so much, I was actually kind of fasting at the time and not even knowing it. I would just like be working all day long, and then I would eat later at night. But I would gorge, but I wasn't gaining any weight because I was working so hard. And I was fasting. Maybe that's what it was at the time, actually. So what happened was that when I stopped going to the gym, I fell out of my routine. I got unhealthy again. And, I didn't get unhealthy, but I wasn't fit. I wasn't in tip-top shape. Didn't change my eating habits. So when I stopped working so much, things changed in my life. I wasn't working at that place anymore. And I didn't change any habits, and I stopped going to the gym. So guess what? The weight started to come back on. I put on like another 20, 25 pounds came back on, and I was like scared. And then the same kind of situation happened. I got on the scale, and daily I started working at this restaurant. I was eating the food all day long, and I couldn't stop eating to where I was gaining weight. I was gaining weight every day, and I saw it happening. I was getting on the scale, and it was happening, but I couldn't stop myself because I was so addicted to all the carbs. I know this now. I didn't know this then. And I put on a shirt again and it didn't fit me anymore, and it really freaking bothered me because, like I said, I'd been through that already and it was all so traumatic for me. So I was like, okay, again, it's time to we got to get on the ball again. We got to get strict again. And so I would just kind of limbo in losing weight and gaining it back. And I did that for a couple of years, guys. I stopped working out. I was just kind of limboing back and forth of unhealthy weight loss. And I made a mistake in my life, guys. I was in a bad way. I've made a video about this. It's called I Have a Confession. You can go check it out. But for those of you who don't know, I made a mistake. I broke the law, and I paid the price for it. I went to prison for 2.5 years. And I had started making changes in my life before I was going to prison. I knew I was going. I was waiting on the sentencing date. And, I'll be honest with you, I sold drugs and I made a mistake, and I decided to change my life before going into prison. I decided anything that I did from that point on would be a positive movement in my life, and I would remove all negativity out of my life. I had no space for it. And I held true to that, guys. I worked my tail off. I got a job in prison. I got my GED. They taught me a skill. I made sure to make the best of a bad situation. I turned negative energy and negative circumstances into positive energy and positive circumstances. And I'm telling you right now, from life experience, anybody can do it. They have to want to do it. You can wake up every day and be somebody who dwells in the negative. You can be somebody who tells himself that life beats them down because of X, Y, and Z. Or you can wake up in the morning and say, today's going to be a great day. I'm going to figure out how to make this day great no matter what, and have that mentality. And I promise you that it's going to radiate off of you. And just like negativity is a poison, positivity spreads like wildfire. And I've experienced this firsthand where people come and thank me for being so positive. And this ain't a show, guys. This is who I am. Sometimes Lindsay gets on. She tells me, you get on my dang nerves. Why are you so positive all the time? Because that's who I am. And that's what makes me happy. And I want to make other people happy. And I know that my purpose and how I'll make other people happy is by living my purpose and helping unhealthy people get healthy. And so this is a long video. I did not expect it to be this long, and I'm sorry, guys, but I'm just trying to put my whole story out there and give it to you all uncut. But there'll probably still be some cuts because there's so much. But okay, so then the next phase, it was like phase 3. Okay, so we limboed. Phase 2 was like we limboed, weight loss, weight gain, weight loss, weight gain. Went to prison. And I promised myself a whole lot of things before going into prison. I didn't plan on breaking any of those promises to myself. I was going to get healthy. I was going to get my GED. I was going to start working out more. I was going to make sure I made goals for myself and made sure I stayed out of trouble. Made sure I came home when I was supposed to come home because I made promises to people. I made sure to have all these goals, and I was going to knock every one of them down, and I did, you guys. The first day I hit my prison camp, actually the first day I went to jail to wait to go to prison, I started working out. No matter what I did from that moment forward, I knew I was going to be on a path of positivity. I wanted to make good, positive changes in my life, and that's what I did. And so I worked out every single day. I haven't stopped working out since then. It's been a good 3.5 years now, I want to say, since the first day I started working out consistently. I haven't taken off any time besides rest time since then. I won't ever take time off again because this is what I love. I love fitness. I love being able to go to the gym and kill a workout. I just have this burning passion for fitness and diet and wanting to help people. And I know that a big way I can help people is by getting my story out there. And that's why I created this channel, was because I believed in keto so much and a healthy lifestyle and fasting, and I wanted to grow this channel to just spread that and help people, because I know the bigger this channel gets, the more my story will get out there, the more it'll help people, the more I can inspire people. That's what I want to do. I want to inspire those who are unhealthy to get healthy. So when I had gotten out of prison, I was still working out all the time. I hadn't fallen off at all. I was just eating. I would eat a regular American diet, standard American diet. So I was just kind of eating whatever. the holidays came, I was eating, and he just was putting weight on. I put on like another 18 to 20 pounds since I got out. And I was like, man, I was in the best shape I'd ever been in when I got out. Well, that really hurt me, and I was like starting to diet again. It wasn't working anymore, guys. What worked before might not work anymore. I've said that before on this channel, and I mean it. It's like there's certain circumstances where what you did in the past won't work for you anymore. Your body changes at times, and now I know that I was becoming more insulin resistant, and I was not being able to lose weight the same way I had before. I was trying to juice. I tried to do all these things where I thought it was what I was supposed to be doing, but the weight just wasn't coming off. That's when I found keto. And keto was like the best thing to have ever happened to me. Keto and intermittent fasting. And I'm telling you what, I started January. I was after Christmas because I'd gained so much dang weight. I was like, God, I got to do something. And I just never looked back. I've been on keto now for 10 months. Wow, that's crazy. Over 10 months now. I love keto. I love intermittent fasting. I love the If My Keto. That's, if you don't know by now, guys, that's the pun with the names. If you're keto, intermittent fast, you're keto. They together are just like having a superpower. I've said it before. And that's why I just want to spread the word of keto, guys. Not only is the weight loss amazing, and I was able to take off about 25 pounds with keto and get into the best shape of my life. Boom. Workouts are fantastic. Everything's just great. Food's good. It's not just that, though. It's health benefits. It's the brain clarity. I mean, I've never felt better in my life. I'm a morning person now where I can actually wake up in the morning. It's not difficult for me. I have abundance of energy. I never have to take a nap unless I have a cheat day or a cheat meal. But even then, there's just so many health benefits to fasting and doing keto. And I've just never felt so good in my life. And I've done so many diets, you guys. I knew that I could lose the weight, but when it stopped working, I was like, what's going on? My body was changing, and so I had to make sure to change and make changes to help me get to my goals. So keto and intermittent fasting is where I landed. I'm so happy that that's where I did land, and I just want to spread the word to everybody that will listen. Anybody who's trying to lose weight, I'll ask them what they're doing. If they ask for my opinion, I'll give it to them, and I'll try to tell them about keto. I just want to pay it forward. The titans of this community like Goody Beats and Jason Whitrock and Keto Connect, I'll put them in there because I love their recipes and everything. And they're doing fitness stuff too now. But those guys are humongous. Thomas DeLauer, they're a humongous force in the keto community. I just love what they do, and I just want to maybe one day get to that level where my story can inspire people, help people, because that's truly what I want to do with my life. I want to become a trainer, and that's why I started my NASM personal training course. Once I complete that, I want to get an online business going where I can help people who were in my shoes, or I'm telling you, I was in those shoes. I wore them, I ran in them, I did everything in them, and I can relate to them. So I just want to help, guys. And so that is my story. It's probably freaking long as heck right now, but I probably forgot some things too along the way, and I'll obviously probably do more videos about it. I would love for you guys to ask me some questions, any kind of questions about my keto journey, my weight loss journey, just whatever questions you might have about it, and I'd love to maybe do a response video to answer those questions. So that's my story, guys. That's my transformation. That's my keto journey now. And, as I'm not perfect, I will have a cheat meal here and there. I'm not going to try my best to just be the best me I can be. And so that's all we really can ask of ourselves, to just do our best and just to keep going forward. Do not quit keto, guys. If you fall off, it doesn't mean you have to quit. You can keep going, and that's okay. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I really loved sharing my story with you guys. And, if you haven't already hit the subscribe, guys, please help me to inspire people by clicking the subscribe, hitting that thumbs up. You won't regret it. I know you'll love the content of this channel, guys. Thank you all who are already subscribed. I greatly appreciate everybody's support. Just thank you, guys. All right. Life's too short, so have a fantastic night.